Welcome back to week number 5 of the Aesthetix Better Body Challenge. I do hope that our first month's recap was helpful, and as you tuned in, I hope that you learned something new about your own health each week. So this week, I want to invite you to change your body biology. Sounds weird? Okay, so very often in clinic, I have to explain to patients that this condition is genetic or it's been silent in your genes, but it's just now coming out. But why now, we often ask. Who is this gene guy? And can somebody please get this guy under control? Sorry to burst your bubble, Gene, but decades of research demonstrates that what we eat can regulate which genes are turned on and which ones are turned off, going so far to prevent or ignite that domino effect that can lead to conditions like diabetes, psoriasis, and even the big C, cancer. So we can turn a blind eye and play the role of the victim, or we can look at what we're exposing ourselves to that's actually making us both the victim and the abuser. Many have said it before, and I'm not going to be the last to say it again. Food is either the poison or the cure. This extends not only to the food choices that we make, but the way that food is grown, harvested, sourced, and stored. Okay, so here's an example. I mentioned that food storage is an issue just now, correct? It's not so easy to eat straight from the earth these days. Might be a little grimy too, but our bodies are naturally evolved to do just that. So let's tell the story of the peanut. Peanuts and other tree nuts are affected by something called aflatoxin. Basically, it's a metabolite of aspergillus, which is a fungus. Despite measures to create an airtight environment, aflatoxin growth is compounded during storage and in inadequate storage structures. So aflatoxin is virtually an unavoidable fungal contamination of peanuts and peanut products. It's been of great concern because it's associated with causing cancer, specifically liver and GI cancers, and toxicity in both humans and animals. So are peanuts the only food affected by aflatoxin? No. Corn's another. And even if you don't like to eat corn, if you eat anything processed, it's in just about everything. So this is why you really need to take the time to research your food. Now, how does a fungus cause cancer? Very simply put, its metabolites or byproducts bind to DNA and targeted cells and it induces mutations. So this promotes a change in the anatomy and function of the targeted cell as well as its replication. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so tell me some good news. If chronic fungal or bacterial exposure, think H. pylori, can cause disease states like stomach cancer, are there good bacteria, probiotics, which can promote increased health? Ding, ding, ding. Okay, how did you get so smart? So a lot more research needs to be done before we fully integrate these recommendations into mainstream healthcare practice with a larger body of evidence-based medicine. In America, that means we need more incentivized funding. Big pharma. This cough today, excuse me. But enough of the evidence-based science. It's just that I'm personally not holding back on these clinical recommendations, and neither are a lot of other doctors. So here's my recommendation to you. For week 5 of your challenge, get in the habit of taking a probiotic daily. I like Now Pharmaceuticals Probiotic 10 strains in the strength of 50 billion CFUs. Third-party testing on LabDor has proven that they are superior in many categories, meaning more clinical efficacy and bioavailability for absorption and function. Now, these probiotics are clinically validated and identified using DNA fingerprinting, and you're going to want to keep these capsules refrigerated to maintain potency and take them on an empty stomach. I'm asking you to do this for your health for a number of reasons. For those of you to whom this information is new, it's important to understand the basics of your microbiome. So I want you to picture yourself as a giant, walking, talking bacteria, covered in colonies, cities, and countries of bacteria. Basically you, yes you, sitting there smelling like roses on Instagram, you're one stinking big, beautiful bacteria world. So the human microbiome is a source of genetic diversity, a modifier of disease, a component of immunity, and a functional entity that influences metabolism during drug interactions. So whatever is happening in the lifestyle of these bacteria that live on you and in you, if they're flourishing or dying off, the balance of bacterial activity and variation play a major role in the health of you. Kind of like the way that we influence the world around us. The water rising, the ice caps melting, vital forests burning. What does that say about our bacterial species? So a few of the strains in the probiotic that I just mentioned have actually been proven to fight obesity, curb diabetes, improve language development in infants and toddlers, lessen the likelihood of developing dementia, improve cognitive development, restore normal gut motility in IBS, really common, reduce the need for antibiotic therapy, improve immune-mediated functions like allergies and autoimmune diseases. I can go on. And they've been implicated even in processes like autism spectrum disorder and ADHD. So we need to focus on the benefits or drawbacks of individual strains applied topically, ingested, or used functionally in other ways. I really believe and hope that more research will emerge in the next coming decade to help us use our microbiome in a targeted application to keep homeostasis or balance, to prevent disease rather than attacking it with antibiotics, unless absolutely necessary. There's a lot to be said and shared here, so I invite you to message me with any questions, and I will gladly share what I already know and point you in the right direction of valid resources and studies that are emerging otherwise. I will tell you that I feel so comfortable and adamant about taking a probiotic that I've had my children on a probiotic supplement since they were weaned as infants. So this one's easy, guys. Go get yourself a probiotic. Check out Now Pharmaceuticals Probiotic 10 50 CFUs and get on your way to protecting your immune system, decreasing inflammation, and strengthening your mind while decreasing your bloat and your pant size. Tip number 5, guys, fuel better and feel better.